travels out to compete for the title of Miss America. And as you know, Alan is Miss Washington, D.C. America. And also, I want to remind everyone to tune in to the Tamika Hall radio show every Monday and Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. I had the honor of being a guest on her show last night, and you don't want to miss out. She's a fabulous host, great show, great guests, and you can check her show out at www.blogtalkradio.com/Tamika Hall. And I also want to remind the viewers that Pageant Live is getting ready for the first ever talent contest live right here on January 8th. You'll have 3 minutes to perform your talent, whether that be singing or dancing, playing an instrument. It should be a talent that would normally be performed in front of a live audience at a scholarship or pageant type competition. And what is exciting is that one of the judges that will be choosing a producer's choice winner is an LA producer from Lakeshore Entertainment. So we're very excited about that. Plus, it's free. There's no fee to compete. The overall winner will receive a $250 gift basket from Bessie's Boutique in Edina, Minnesota. So if you are interested, you want to sign up, you want more information, you want to be a part of the show, please email at show@PageantLIVE.com. And I want to remind our viewers, if you have questions for our guests this evening, you can tweet at Pageant Live, post on Facebook, or comment on YouTube. We love our viewers, and we want to hear from you. So let's first begin by having our guests introduce themselves and their titles. And I'll begin on my left with Amy and Amanda Short.
Hi, I'm Amy Short, Miss International Teen Reporter for The Dawn Reese Show. And I'm Amanda Short, Miss Junior Teen Freedom 2012 right now, as well as many other titles.
Well, it's great to have you on the show. And now we'll move on to Ann McConnell.
I'm Ann. I am America's Mrs. I represent the America's Miss pageant. I'm a mother of 4, so right now tonight I'm reigning at home, and I may be running off and on screen because I'm taking care of my little boy tonight too, but that's always fun.
Oh, absolutely. Whatever you need to do. And thanks for being a guest tonight, Ann.
Thank you.
We'll move on to Haisha.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I am Haisha Robinson Nesmith. I am Mrs. New York America 2013, and that is the title that I am representing. So hi, everybody.
Hello and welcome. Glad to have you with us.
Thank you.
And Pam, would you like to introduce yourself? Pam is the producer of Pageant Live.
I want to thank everyone. I'm Pamela Prevett. I want to thank everyone for being here tonight. This is a very special time of a season for everyone to remember to please give to those who are less fortunate than you are. I know we have a lot of people who are having economic hard times in the United States, but you know, perhaps instead of buying that latte, put half that money into the Salvation Army kettle and buy a smaller latte. But I do want to thank you for making us a part of your night.
And thank you, Pam, for having a fabulous show, a great format. We're excited. We're all excited to be a part of it tonight. And now we'll move on to Stephanie Sylvester.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Stephanie Sylvester, Miss American Elegance Lady.
Hi, Stephanie.
Hello.
Oh, hi. Everybody can say hi. We lost Tim.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
He'll come back. That's okay. And we lost Stephanie. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. Go ahead, Trinity, until Stephanie and Tim come back. Maybe they obviously came together because they left together. So, go ahead, Trinity. Go ahead.
I'm Trinity Nicole Miller. I am Miss Texas American Renaissance 2013.
Perfect. We want to thank everyone for being here tonight. And what we're going to do tonight is that we're going to go ahead and we're going to have our pageant tip. And tonight, one of the biggest questions that Pageant Live receives is that people want to know how to get sponsors. So what's going to happen is Trinity, okay, well, hang on one second. Let's get Tim back in.
Hey.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Oh, boy.
Okay, now you two left together and came back together.
We did. Oh my goodness, that is so strange. All of a sudden, everything froze up, and I thought, oh my goodness, I don't know what's going on tonight.
You know, this is a free platform. This is Google Plus. They give it to us to use, and you know, not every night our internet is going to be the best, so we just run with it. But welcome back, you guys.
Well, thank you. Glad to be back.
We were doing the pageant tip. Thank you. And go ahead. And I guess Tim is next, Stephanie, to introduce himself.
Absolutely. Well, Tim, tell us a little bit more about you and your show.
Well, we're the Pageant Cast. We were probably one of the first podcasts about beauty pageants, and we've been on since 2005. Very excited to still be on the air. We have recently changed over to a video format in the past year, and we continue to grow. So very excited to be here tonight on Pageant Live.
Welcome.
We're so glad to have you, Tim. And we'll move on to Trinity.
Oh, I already said me, but I'll say it again. I'm Trinity Nicole Miller. I'm Miss Texas American Renaissance 2013.
Well, so glad to have you here, Trinity. And I have to tell everyone, I was so excited to be a part of the show tonight, not just because we have so many fabulous guests, but because of the topic that we're focusing on, and that is gaining pageant sponsorship. And it's a question that comes up time and time again. And, you know, let's face it, costs add up. You're paying entry fees, you're paying for wardrobe, coaching, traveling. And so, you know, it's always great to have sponsors to help back you and help cover some of those costs. So I'm excited to talk to our viewers tonight and get some more tips about that we can all definitely use in the pageant world and helping us out. So Trinity, let's start with you. I know you have Trinity Nicole Marketing. You have a lot of knowledge in this area. So what can you share with our viewers about sponsorship and gaining sponsors?
Well, I do two things when I try to get sponsors. First off, I create some sort of a letter, and I explain to them what I'm doing, what my pageant system's about, and what I would require of them if they were to come on as one of my sponsors. And I email it to different businesses, and I also message different businesses. As a matter of fact, I got another limo service today that I messaged a few days ago. And I also put on there all of my marketing. I put my NicoleMillerMarketing.com, my Trinity's Closet, my community service project that I do. I put my Facebook, I put my Twitter, everything that I do, I put on this letter. So you can look at me and this with me to see what I'm all about. And that's one of the ways that I do that. And I look at all the different things that I'm going to need. Say I'm going to need a salon, I'm going to need some nail people, I'm going to need a clothing store for appearance clothing, I'm going to need a gown store to do my gown, I'm going to need an alterationist lady to alter everything that I buy. You know, everything that I'm going to need, I start with that. And I start emailing those people and getting those people on board. And I have a car service now because I can't drive here in San Antonio. It's just too big and I just can't do it. So I got two car services that are going to take me to my appearances and take me to my business meetings, which brings on the second thing that I do. I go to business meetings. I go to business networking meetings because I'm a businesswoman. And I stand up, and during my 30-second elevator speech, I also say, and I'm also Miss Texas American Renaissance, and I would like for any of y'all to come on as a local or national sponsor with me. It's absolutely free. You know, all you have to do is this, that, and the other, and I have a little spiel for that. So at the end of the meeting, people come up and they either want to come on with me locally or they want to come on with me nationally or both. And so I use those two avenues to aggressively market not only myself and my title, but to get sponsors. And I'm very successful at that. I usually don't end up paying a dime for any pageant.
Wow, those are some great tips, and that's nice. I'm sure a lot of us pageant girls would love to do the same thing and get more sponsorship. But now, what is it specifically that you say, or what do you think the hook is that really pulls people in, that gets them hooked in being your sponsor?
You know, I don't really know. I would like to know that, and I probably need to ask people this. But what I do is I explain what my pageant is all about, you know, for one thing. But I also explain what I'm going to be doing for the next year. And I explain to them, that, you know, the charity that I'm going to be involved in and what that charity is about. But see, I will also have a deal where I can take over their websites. I can take over their online marketing. I put them in all of my advertising that I do, which I do a tremendous amount of advertising with posters and flyers and all these types of things that I take everywhere that I go. And so I think that probably does help, that I'll say, not only will you be my sponsor, but I'm going to come on and I'm going to help. Even if they don't need me to take it over, I will help them fix it if it needs to be fixed or updated or this type of thing. So I can come on as their web person and their marketing person too. And I do that at no charge for them. And then later on, I usually get all of their business.
Well, I like that. So it's kind of like you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. So it's a give and take, giving something but getting something in return.
Right. Well, I try to do that with people, even in my business. I want it to be a twin-win situation. I want not only for me to get money or whatever it is I'm trying to get, but I want them to get business or, you know, whatever it is they're trying to accomplish. And if it's not a twin-win situation, then I'm not a happy person about it.
Well, great. Thank you, Trinity, for sharing that. And let's move on to Haisha. Haisha, what can you share with us about gaining sponsorship for pageants?
Well, I think there's a couple different things that are important. One, I have been competing in pageants since I was 12 years old. And when you've been competing so long, when you ask for sponsors or you're continually trying to either get someone to sponsor you or to be involved in what you're doing, you have to be strategic. So in that, some of the things I've moved towards, which the things that Trinity spoke about were amazing, but what I've had to do is, one, either set up a plan that I have a goal of raising, say, $400. And then I will divide that amongst just a goal number of people. And if I want to have 10 people do it, or if I want to have, say, 20 people do it, I divide it up evenly and then ask people to be one of those. And then on my site or on my Facebook page, I continually go there and kind of update how many people have come on as a sponsor. And so by doing that, it's about, I come from a finance background. I'm working on an MBA and I work in financial aid, so I know when students need scholarships, every little bit helps. So by doing that, it gets me closer and closer to my goal. And oftentimes people really want to be one of those people on your list of people who are sponsoring you potentially. So for me, that's one of the things that has been very tremendously helpful. And then the second thing that I would really suggest is, if you kind of use up all the sponsors that you possibly think you can, then maybe you get a different type of sponsor for something that you don't need. And then you use that either as a raffle or as a promotional opportunity on your website to draw people there to either bid on through an auction or raffle off, and then that can raise money back, but also you're promoting that product and you're giving them the advertisement for something. Usually I choose something that I believe in or I feel passionate about, because there's a lot of businesses, either small businesses or businesses that are doing products that I really enjoy using, and it's a way to be able to advertise and market for them.
I like that. I like your ideas about being strategic. I like how you're pulling people in, you're getting them excited, you want them to be a part of it. I like that. Thank you for sharing that.
Definitely,
and Tim, let's go to you next. I know you've had a lot of experience talking to beautiful pageant women and title holders, and you've been in the pageant industry for quite a while, so I know you have some great tips to share with us.
Tim, I muted you for feedback.
Well, while Tim is working on that.
Now.
Oh, I can hear you, Tim. We can hear you.
Sorry, Tim.
I didn't know what was going on. that happens at my age. Don't ever get this up. Well, I'm basically going to perform plagiarism here, because I'm not looking for sponsors. I can only tell you what has worked for people I've interviewed, and as he mentioned, I've interviewed Wow, 878 so far.
Wow.
So yeah,
Congratulations.
I had to look it up. I can't keep track. But one of the best suggestions that I heard, and this rings true to me because I do have other podcasts that I take part in about police work, is go to your local police department. Now, that's not going to be the sponsor. Your local police department isn't going to say, okay, let's shell out some bucks for you to participate in a pageant. What it is going to do is it's going to be a very important networking move. What you're going to want to do is ask for the crime prevention officer. This is the one that goes into the schools and tells kids not to take lollipops from strangers. This is the one that goes to the neighborhood watch meetings. This is the officer that goes out in the community and does stuff with. They usually have access to that McGruff, character somewhere in his closet someplace. That person is so hooked up with the community, particularly the business community in that area. You want to make friends. You want to make good friends with that person, because that person is going to be able to find you people that are possible sponsors. Also, they're going to be able to hook you up with all sorts of appearances. And if your particular platform happens to be, don't do drugs or something that they're very involved in, DARE or, something like that,
Sure.
all the better. All the better for you. And with that connection, you're going to be able to, you'll be at every local fair, you'll be at whatever events they're involved in. Believe me, the police are in every Christmas parade I've ever seen. So they'll get to give you a little hat, and you can go on the back of a convertible in 20-degree weather. That's fun. But it's also a way to get seen, and really a big part of sponsorship, people want to know that you're going to work. I don't want to go into a complaint, but a lot of times you're not sure if this pageant participant is, quote, for real. Is this one that is going to go out there and work their platform? Are they going to be out in the community? If you're already out in the community, and if you get the police to sit there and vouch for you, that can be very, very important. I've also heard going to fire departments has worked for quite a few young ladies. First of all, fire departments are filled with young men. They just hate it when beautiful young women come walking up. But a lot of them have side jobs too, and sometimes they're like, Bob and Dan's roofing on the weekends, and sometimes they'll sponsor you themselves. But again, very connected with the local community, and that's where you're going to find your sponsors, is getting out in that local community. And I can think of nothing better than helping out the great folks that are in the fire department and police. And quite frankly, if they'll accept your help, you're doing a great thing for the community. You're doing a good thing right there, and you're building up your resume for the pageant. So it's a win all around.
That's a good point. I've never heard that before, Tim. That's a very good idea.
I have seen some of the most amazing sponsor getters. Is that a word? People that are able to get a lot of sponsors that I know here in the Midwest. They tell me this over and over and over again. Get involved in a community. Get to know your mayor by a first name. But I really see as one of the linchpins, and I'm serious, go into the police department, wear the crown, wear the sash, go in there, and say, I'd like to talk to your crime prevention officer. I'd like to help them with some upcoming events and get to know the community better. They will open up the door, and I'm not talking a cell door. You don't walk where the bars are, okay? Walk away from the bars. Get yourself into the office, and they'll give you pamphlets and all sorts of stuff. Particularly, I mean, if you're anti-drug, if that's what you're doing, my God, get yourself to the police department immediately. They have more materials that they can load you up. They will set you up. You'll be at schools every third Thursday because they've got too much for them to do. They would love to have a volunteer that can do it for them. So you'll get the appearances, but you'll also get to know everybody in the community, because that's the person that knows everybody. If there's shoplifting in a local store, They know that person by a first name, and that might be the person that runs the gown store there in town, and now you got it in. So it's very important to get to know your local community.
You know, Tim, too, what I wanted to go a little bit further about that, like, he made a very good point. They want to know you're going to work. And the thing is, even if you have not been crowned and they see you out there and they see you making presentations and things like that, they love their own, they like their peers to come to the high school. You know, you could have just graduated, they'll still be in, you know. So don't you agree, someone who is participating or trying to win that crown, it also would be beneficial for them to reach out to the police and firemen?
I say this when I'm judging. I want to know that you're already doing the job. Yeah, you don't have the title yet, but I want to know you already do the job. Think about your own job interviews. Do they say, boy, I hope you have absolutely no experience because I want to be the one that tests you out? Right. No. They want to know that you're out there, you're getting the name out there. Because when you're sponsoring, part of your job when you have a sponsor is to get that sponsor's name out there. If they give you a bunch of money and you sit at home, or you're just going out to see a movie every Friday night, that don't cut it. You need to be out there and say, hey, you know, one of my sponsors is Dr. James Lovell. He's our my dentist. He's a great guy. Look at my teeth; they're so white. That's what they want out there. And literally, my dentist is an ex-pageant sponsor. So he helped out one of our Miss Wisconsins. It works. They know it works. They want somebody that's out there in the community to help sell their name, their business, and they will support you, but they need to know that you're already doing the job.
I agree with you.
That's great.
Excellent tip.
Now, Tim, I have a quick question for you.
Okay.
Now, what do you recommend when you have potential sponsors? I mean, what can you do with them? How can you promote them? What do you think the best way would be to promote that person, that product, that business? How do you get that name out there? How do you promote someone?
Well, number one, we all know that I'm incredibly cheap. I mean, look at my outfit. So the first thing I would do is get a website and tell them you're going to put a badge out there, because that costs, let me think, there's a lot of carry to zero, nothing.
Wait, that's what Trinity says.
Stuff that's free. Give them the free stuff first and say, you know, everybody that comes to my website, like I see, Haisha, you got a great website name there. Just go with the first name. That's perfect. That's the way to go. I think Trinity is going to be nodding her head off to the side. Buyyourname.com. I mean, I own TimKretschmann.com. Trust me, I wasn't worried that another Tim Kretschmann was going to buy that thing. I wasn't worried about it. But if your name is like Allison Smith, you get busy right now and buy that thing, because 50 other people are going to buy it. The other thing is, you don't want somebody that doesn't like you to buy it and then redirect it to a porn site. I'm sorry, but it happens. I've heard it a number of times.
Sure. Wow.
It's, you know, it's $10 a year. Dole out the cash if you're going to go in the public eye. So putting the name out there on the website, that's an easy one. I always say on the website, create a couple of YouTube videos out there. So let's say it's my friend Dr. James Lovell, which of course is an astronaut, but whatever. You go out to Jimmy Lovell's place and you go out there and have your friend take a camera. I'm sorry, everybody's got a smartphone. Everybody's got a camera that does video. It doesn't have to be the highest quality, but go out there and practice, you know, do a little ad out there. Hey, this is one of my sponsors. He's my dentist too. Look at his smile. What a stud, you know. And put that out on your website. They're gonna direct all sorts of people to your website. Again, increasing that presence that you have, and that's how people are gonna know who you are. And you know, you get one sponsor, and they're like little rabbits. They start multiplying, because once they know, hey, you know, everybody's looking at my video. Holy mackerel! They're all coming in here. You know, maybe they're not buying a new set of dentures, but they're getting a teeth clean. It's all right. It's gonna start building. So I would say YouTube is just a great little thing. You take a video and don't make it long. 30 seconds, 15 seconds. That's all people want to watch anyway. Lord, do I know that. Whenever I put out a long video. You put that out there, put it on your web. People dig it. And put it out there on your Facebook. Put it out there on your Twitter. Put it on your Google+. Wherever it is. And, promote it. And those sponsors are going to say, hey, I got a real little firecracker here that is working this title like crazy. You should take a look at it and throw a couple bucks her way. It does build on itself.
Tim, those are great tips. Never thought of it before, but I love it. And it's a completely win-win situation.
I didn't think of it either. I stole it. It's called plagiarism.
Okay, great ideas. We love it. Something we can take and run with. Well, thank you, Tim, for sharing that. And Stephanie, we'll move on to you. I know during the pre-show we talked a little bit, and you had some unique ways of gaining sponsors for pageants. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes, reach out to your pageant sisters. Don't be ashamed or afraid to ask them. They could have an evening gown if you're in need of an evening gown, or an interview, whatever you might need, jewelry. You'd be surprised how many are willing to help you. And also, I agree with Tim on the community things. I know that my local VFW helps with sponsors, the mayor, businesses that you go to frequently, like tanning salons, beauty salons, grocery store. I live in a small town, so if you approach them, they're more willing to help you out and sponsor you. But I think a real good one is the Pageant Sisters, to reach out to them because they're more than willing to help you.
I love
Oh, she went away. I agree with you, Stephanie. And you notice they left again together?
Yes, yes, they did.
I think Jack needs to, and his wife needs to catch in on this. But you know what I like is that because there's so many people go in different times, different, like if you've been pageant to pageant, like the short girls, there's two of them competing, and you have to be creative because it's just the money is just not we're not Trump or anything like that. So I like that. I like that idea. Reach out, ask someone, can you room with them, instead of getting a room to your own, or can I ride with you, and things like that. And you're able to cut the budget, a little bit. And every little bit helps.
Actually, that's what I did this year, and it really helped me out a lot.
Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.
Is that a man?
Yeah, they're saying it's time to go get bedtime snacks. So.
Do you want to, Anne, do you want to do yours before you leave real quick?
Oh, sure. Okay, guys, just be quiet. My pageant, the America's Miss pageant, was in my hometown of Annapolis, Maryland. So I took advantage of going around to all the local businesses, salons, boutiques, some restaurants, and I said, guess what? There are all these fabulous ladies coming to town to compete, and wouldn't you love it if we all show up at your... It worked out really well for me. I was able to get some relationships with businesses, and of course they were really excited to know, like, oh wow, you're going to have all these ladies visiting, and we'd love to have you. So I just encourage people to, again, like everyone has said, you make relationships, and it's all about connecting with people.
All four of those kids want your attention, Ann.
I know.
Good for you.
Thank you for having me. Good night.
Thank you. It's great seeing you.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Bye, boys.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye.
Hope Santa comes. You know what, though? And it's very interesting because, like Ann said, I know that Ann's pageant was here in the Annapolis area, so she was able to leverage that. She was able to come around and talk to the different people in the different stores and restaurants and say, "We're going to be in here, and I'm going to tell everyone, hey, come to this establishment." So she leveraged that. So that's really good.
Absolutely. I think so. Being right in the community and having that and drawing people to that, yeah, I think that definitely helps. Okay, well, we'll move on to Amy and Amanda Short. What tips can you give our viewers about gaining sponsorship for pageants?
Work it, girls. I know you have something.
All right. Well, because we usually have to spend double the money when we enter in a pageant, one of the things, it's not so much getting sponsors, but like sort of a way that you're not spending as much money is cutting back on some things, I guess. And I guess with like outfits and stuff like that, if you can go to like thrift stores or consignment stores or something like that, you can find some great stuff. Or if you can even sew, you can make your own stuff.
And reuse your outfits as much as possible. It's like, oh, I haven't worn this in this pageant yet. Maybe I could try it here.
Yeah.
If it's award-winning, use it.
Because they're down in Orlando. So how many pageants a year would you say you guys are in?
4, 5.
Big ones, like 4 or 5, I guess. And that's a lot. Like,
yeah, I know.
To prepare for and to get your outfits and your interview stuff together and everything. Research on your pageants. So, down here, 4 or 5 is like, dang. But, for sponsors, I have ask anybody that you know. And don't give yourself, like, a set amount. Don't say, like, oh, I need $100 from somebody. Like, no. Just, if you can even go around with, like, a can and say, hey, guys, if you have any spare change, would you like to give me some spare change? And every little penny counts. Any penny counts. You just, as long as people are giving you money, you're on the right track for sponsorship. And you can even put them in there and say, like, oh, yeah, my best friend Joe gave me $5, and he's sponsoring me for my pageant or something like that. And when you go to like businesses and whatnot, dress professionally and give them like an impression when you walk in. Give them a really good impression, and especially for us when we would walk in with like a suit on, they're like, wow, they're young, very young girls, and they're walking in and they look so professional. It gives them more of a good impression on you instead of them being like, oh, teenagers are coming, they just want money, you know.
Love it. Great idea. I think that's an important tip to remember. You be professional. Look the part when you go in to talk to people. And Pam, do you have anything you want to add about sponsorship?
Well, you know, I've actually, my daughter competes, Paige, the host, and what many of the people, like I think I've said this before. This one girl, the international princess, said that what she did. Did we forget you, Amy? Amy, did you give us any tips?
Yes. Yeah, she like helped me come up with a list, and she's like,
okay, we got to give it to them both. But anyway, I'll never forget the one girl. She said that she sent a letter out to all her relatives and just said, please give. And she got almost $3,000. She just sent out all these, seriously, like to aunts, uncles, cousins, told them what, like you, Trinity, said in her letter, told them what they were doing, what she was doing, what she was looking for, what she planned on doing with the title, you know, when she was competing, that she would tell them, you know, keep them abreast of what's going on. And she got almost $3,000 from different, like people were giving her $250 donations.
Wow.
And also to go, like Tim said, go to your, or all you have said, go to your dentist, go to your hairdresser, go to your stylist, go to, you know, your esthetician, your makeup person, because the thing is that you give them their money, but you have to be able to, like Tim said, you have to be able to want to sponsor them and talk about them and promote them and, you know, tell them, you know, you want to work. You definitely want to work if someone's going to give you money.
Absolutely.
I have a question.
Oh, sorry, Tim. Go ahead.
I have a question. I'm raising my hand. Actually, has anybody on the panel heard of Booster Lists? Has anybody tried Booster Lists at all?
No. What is that?
Here's another stunt, and again, playing around with your website, set up a page that says Booster List, okay? Now, go to your local school, go to a local event, whatever it is, you know, a 4-H club, soccer game, whatever. Have a typewritten sheet of paper that says, if you'd like to help sponsor me for my, you know, do your 30-second elevator speech, as you would say, put a little paragraph there of what you want, and say, please put $1 in the envelope and write your name down, and we'll put you on our booster list. And you pass it around. If there's 300 people in the audience, a lot of times you'll get $150 back to you. Yeah, you're going to have to type in a few names on the website. Who cares? Again, free. You know, it's not bad.
No, I agree with you.
And I know when I get those, sometimes I'll put in $1 and I'll write Arnold Schwarzenegger. You know,
Yeah, sure.
You know, I just put it in there. And it's kind of a fun thing. And once you do that, you know, the next person is going to say, well, I'm Tweety Bird, you know. So you can actually make a good amount of money just on a booster list. And it's what could be simpler than that? A bunch of names, stick it on a website, and, hey, thanks a lot.
Do you know what, too, though? And the thing is, a parent, I'm more than happy to help young people that are doing positive things. Especially young people doing positive things, or people just doing positive things, even if it's $5. You know?
And the sisters were talking about that. You know, if you ask for $1, they're much more willing to give you $1 or $5 than if you go, I would like $100, please. I can find
Exactly.
easy to say no to $100.
Right.
$1 or $2, I'm like, here. Go away now.
I give it to you to go away.
Exactly.
That's it. That's the magic formula. What was it, Amanda?
The youth have it all figured out.
Oh,
That's right. Those are great tips. A lot of great tips that I've never heard of. And you know, I need to share. I had buckle up wristbands made, and again, like some of our guests mentioned earlier, it's kind of that win-win situation. Is scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. I got it from a car dealership, and it has the buckle up message on it, but at the same time it has the website of the car dealership, which I'm passing out, so I'm also promoting the car dealership. I also had my hair done for free extensions before my last pageant, because I was promoting the wonderful woman who was doing my hair and her business to all of my pageant friends. So, you know, I think these are all excellent tips, and a lot of them are new that I haven't heard before, but, you know, I think it's very beneficial. I think, you know, a lot of us can come out with lots of new ideas that we can try for gaining sponsors. Well, now, Pam, do you have anything else that you wanted to add?
No, I just want to thank everyone, and you know, we probably should wrap. It looks like the short girls are tired. Not that you need your beauty rest, young lady. You're already beautiful and young. My thing is that once again, I want to remind everyone this is the time of the year where, you know, it's almost tax time also. So it's either, our finance major can tell you, either you give it to Uncle Sam or you give it to your charity. So please remember those people and those animals, or whatever you're passionate about. You know, if it's $5, just give, please give, and you will get it back threefold, I promise.
Absolutely, great thing to do. And also, I want to remind our viewers to check out Tim Kretschmann's show, Pageant Cast. And Tim, can you tell us when it's on, where to find you, and tell us a little bit more about your show?
I absolutely cannot tell you that. It is a secret. The easiest way is just go to PageantCast.com. Very simple. You just go to the website. If you have iTunes, it couldn't be easier. Just click on the subscribe in iTunes button, and every time I post something, it'll come directly into iTunes, absolutely free. And you get each and every episode absolutely free, very easy to get to. You can follow the page. We put things out on YouTube, Blip TV, all over the place. We have it out on Facebook, on Google Play, you know, on and on it goes. Just check it out at PageantCast.com.
Hi, excuse me, Stephanie. Haisha had one other thing to say. Did we lose somebody?
We lost somebody.
We lost Stephanie. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes. Well, the thing I wanted to say, and I guess this is plagiarizing from my other job, because I work in financial aid and I do a lot of speaking across the country about telling young people to make sure if they want to go to college to not let money be the thing that gets in the way. And I want to kind of tailor that towards pageants. If you have a passion for doing pageants, I wanted to do pageants ever since I was young and my family couldn't afford it. Whatever it is that you have to do to get there, within reason, and stay at a police station, but whatever you have to do, make sure you're following your passions and your dreams. And if it's getting sponsorship, if it's calling your other sisters, if it's making sure you just tell your family it's what you want to do and you save up all year money that you would have spent on coffee. Just make sure you do what your heart desires and what your dreams are, because I think that's why we all do pageants, because we love it and we have a passion for it. So I would hate to see somebody not do it because they couldn't raise the sponsorship. And hey, like, call me. I'll be a pageant sister. I'll help you too. But
oh, wow.
You need it. Just really, I want to see anybody, young, old, whatever it is, if it's Mrs. America, if it's any of the titles you guys are hosting, just make sure you do it.
Oh, good tip. Yeah, follow your dreams.
Yes, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Best advice. Absolutely. Don't let anything stand in your way. Definitely. Well, I want to say thank you to our fabulous panel of guests this evening. Great show, and I enjoyed learning all of the new tips, and I think we can all walk away with a lot of different ideas to try to gain pageant sponsorship. And again, I am Stephanie McGrain, International Super Ms. Please check out the America's Super Pageant at www.americasuperpageant.com.
Stephanie, excuse me, we want to go ahead and let the other people go ahead and promote their charity themselves.
Okay. Okay, and we will start with Amy and Amanda Short.
Go ahead, girls.
I just got the nudge to go first. I am Amanda Short, Miss Junior Teen Freedom 2012. I have very many other titles as well. And I have other titles. She needs to stop. But I actually just got in my pictures for the calendar contest. So I wish I would have remembered that at the beginning of the show, so I would have showed them. Oh well. But another thing that I wanted to add, we have a competition at our school on Friday, and it's this fundraiser for prom, Dancing with the Teachers, and it's like Dancing with the Stars, where they pair up like student experts with teachers. And our teacher, my teacher, he is raising money, and the more money that you raise, the more votes that you get. So like a dollar equals a vote. And he's been raising money all through his classes. He was like wearing his costume today, and he went to his church, and he like passed around the little bin, and all the kids like donated to him and stuff like that. So I guess it's kind of like a way of add that in, like anybody can do it.
Under my name, which you can see, I guess, below here. And also, you can go to my website, which is also there at haisha.org. But my platform, and I just wanted to make sure I say, because even this forum is a wonderful opportunity for people to know the wonderful things that pageant contestants do. And I'm actually trying to spread awareness for infertility, because 1 in 8 women suffer with this nationally. So if you're sitting at a table at a dinner party and there's 8 of you there, at least one person is suffering with it. And so I just want to spread the awareness of hope. And my platform is helping you share hope across America, which is Haisha, and just trying to spread a message of hope to stay hopeful. So whether it's doing pageants, whether it's you're going through a crisis or a trial, just stay hopeful and know that there's others who can share that with you. So I'm so grateful that I got the opportunity to hang out with some wonderful people this evening, and this was just an awesome opportunity. So I'm Mrs. New York, America, and so you can also go to Mrs. America. That is an awesome website about an awesome pageant that I'll be competing in next year. And just thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
So excited to have you tonight. Thank you. And we'll move on to Stephanie.
Hello, I'm Stephanie Sylvester, Miss American Elegance Lady. My platform is celiac disease. 2 years ago, I was diagnosed with this autoimmune disease, and actually I am going to be calling later on this evening this lady named Sandra. She has a local community where people get together and they share recipes, and it'll enable me to help be able to spread awareness on things that people should and shouldn't eat. And you can find me on Facebook. Also, if you go to www.missamericanelegancepageant.com, you can find out more information about the wonderful pageant that I just won.
Excuse me, Stephanie, I sent you, Tamika Hall had a special, she did a video on the gluten-free diet and the gluten-free calendar. I posted it on your wall. I wanted you to see it.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you to Tamika for providing it.
Definitely.
Thank you for joining us tonight.
Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it, and I hope everyone has a good evening.
Good night.
Thank
yes,
you.
thank you.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And Tim, the man, you're next.
Well, I already went, and I see that Trinity got back. So Bartholomew, though, wanted to wave and say Merry Christmas. So.
Merry Christmas.
Hi, Bartholomew. Hi, Bartholomew.
Yeah.
Trinity, you're up, lady.
I believe Trinity may
You're muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
you hear me now?
We should be a cell phone company.
I know. I'm muted because Sweet Justin just called me and said, honey, I'm live. I got to call you back. Anyway,
thank you, Justin, for waiting for.
I love him. I'm Trinity Nicole Miller, American Renaissance 2013. My platform is Domestic Violence, Breaking the Cycle. I own Nicole Miller Marketing, so if you want to get some things done with your website, with online marketing, have me help you, even with these sponsor things, I would be so happy to help you get sponsors because I'm really good at it and I really like to do it. So just go to NicoleMillerMarketing.com and you can get a hold of me, see all the stuff that I'm doing. I'm also doing a little community project called Trinity's Closet, where I have gowns donated to me, and I go out into the community with the young women in our community that can't afford a gown for like their prom or a formal. And it's so important for them to show up in a gown and look nice for these things.
Sure.
And so I find them gowns and donate them to them. So I've got that started, and I'm just doing all kinds of fun things. So come see me.
Perfect.
Absolutely. Sounds good.
It's always, wonderful having you, Trinity. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Oh, I was just going to say, I've seen some of Trinity's work that she's posted on Facebook, and she's incredible. Amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, so be sure to look her up, check her out. Yeah, she does great work.
Thank you.
And Pam, do you want to make any closing remarks?
No, I think I just want to thank everyone. Have a good holiday. Check us out next Tuesday. Alan Rose will be here with us. And I want to thank everyone for coming. And thank you, Stephanie, for hosting.
Thank you for having me. And thank you to all the wonderful guests. Thank you so much.
Good night.
Tonight.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.